Last game before the international break is Arsenal take on Burnley, a struggling Burnley side who I thought were going to perform quite well this season considering their efforts last year, but it doesn't seem to be going that way for them. After a convincing 2-0 win against Sevilla, we find ourselves here. We struggled in the games prior to that, but we've bounced back and the team is looking very strong. I think we've got an established midfield without Odegaard now. Obviously, he's injured. He's still out of the squad. As is Ben White is also missing from the squad. Zinchenko's coming into left back, and I presume obviously Tomiyasu's at right back. Other than that, the lineup is unchanged from that victory against Sevilla. Trossard leads the line as well. He's great with the link-up play. I wasn't too sure about Trossard starting or as a striker because I feel like he's better off the bench usually. He can be a bit hit or miss in the starting 11, but his link-up play works better than Nketiah. I think he's a closer replacement to Jesus than Nketiah is. Better at the dropping in and doing the link up between the wingers, and the wingers are obviously key to our system. So I feel like Trossard is a better fit than Nketiah at the moment. And against this Burnley team, they like to play possession. They like to have the ball, so when we can't expect to have it the entire game. As much as we love having the ball, the fact that we have Martinelli on the wing means we always have an outlet to hit if he gets space and he can just dash at the other team. I want to see better execution of crosses, both what crosses are coming in the box and people going to challenge, whether that's more people coming into the box, whether that's low deliveries with people running to the front stick, just something that means we're making more of these wing plays where we're getting to the byline, but then we're getting the ball in the box and it goes over everyone's head or they just clear it. So I want to see more conversion from those opportunities today. What a way to head into the international break with a 3-1 win over Burnley. It was a bit unconventional at times. We had to adapt to the way Burnley played in terms of our intricate play, although it did work at times, and there was some very silky, very tight patterns of play. We did resort to using a lot of crosses, which obviously is not the way Arteta intends to play most of the time, but is an important step in developing as a manager, I believe. I think there's been arguments to say sometimes we're trying, we've spoken about this, the horseshoe. He has an issue where he sticks too much to his plan and he doesn't adapt to the situation. We targeted crossing from the left to the right more in an attempt to get Havertz to head the ball in, and he did get into the positions, he did meet the ball with his head, but my theory of him scoring did not happen. He's getting in the positions, he just can't hit the target, he has no accuracy, he doesn't seem to have any conviction when he's trying to strike the ball. It was also a shot he had in the box that was deflected, which, it happens, but maybe can you drill it lower? Again, it's picking at little details here. I'm struggling to back him up. But then his substitute, Fabio Vieira, who came on it was in the 58th minute, he didn't do anything crazy to stand out apart from get sent off. It was a very bizarre tackle, or a bizarre moment really, because I wasn't really expecting it. I didn't have a great angle when watching it on my phone. But he kind of, his studs are up and it goes into his knee. It is a red card, but I didn't really feel any way about the red card. At this point, we were 3-1 up as well. I think it was 83 minutes. But anyway, back to the first half. Their keeper, Trafford, saved one from Saka onto the bar, so we were definitely coming closer throughout the half. Slowly closing in, chance after chance, slowly getting closer, and then finally we did score with Trossard. The second half begins, and roughly 10 minutes in, a duel between Tomiyasu and their left winger, who seems to be quite good. I didn't catch his name. 20-year-old Italian. I'm not sure left wing this is, obviously, with Tomiyasu being right back. He's challenging him, gets to the byline. It looks like Tomiyasu's going to do what he's done with them all game, which is just shepherd the ball out of play, deal with him, use his strength, get in front of the ball with his body. He loses his balance. It's a cheeky little nutmeg to keep it in from the young Burnley winger. He manages to find their captain, and it's the shot takes the deflection, but it's in the back of the net and it's 1-1. Was the goal deserved? That could be argued. I don't think their attacking plays so far had warranted a goal, but their defensive shape and solidity had been decent, so you could argue it balances out, but it was definitely not how the story of the game that it was going to be a 1-1. It did not feel like that. This isn't the Burnley of old where they're playing for the low-scoring matches and they're, sitting back. Whilst they did have a good shape in that 4-4-2, similar to how we operate, they were much more attacking. They just didn't seem to make many chances despite that being their ethos. It's 1-1, feeling a bit undeserved for Burnley. We've been hitting chance after chance, nothing amazing necessarily, and then we get a corner. Trossard whips it in right onto that 6 yard, into the 6 yard box, like just outside the keeper. To be honest, the keeper should definitely do better challenging for that, but it doesn't matter when you've got the man mounting Saliba to knock it in, and it's just a clean goal, and he does that weird little run he does. He's oh. But it was a great headed goal, and within 5 minutes we had restored the lead, and everything was back to normal. No worries after that, to be honest. I didn't feel like Burnley were at any stage going to get back into the game. And we were really calm. Third goal comes from Zinchenko, who I think was fantastic today with his passing, and there's just some really nice little technical moments from him. Arguably quite poor recently. Obviously, he's had some appearances off the bench, but today he showed why he has to be in the starting 11, really. Now, for his goal, let's talk about that. It's a corner. They kind of get it out a bit at the edge of the box, and he does this one, like a karate kind of kick. It goes in the top corner, right? It's not even like he just softly gets it in. It's in the top left corner if you're from the goalie's perspective. It takes some skill to do that. Obviously, the keeper wasn't in position necessarily because of the corner. He's just defending it. But it doesn't matter. The ball's in the back of the net, and it was a fantastic goal. Not only that, but in the first half, when he's linking up on the right-hand side, this is in their box with Saka. He makes to look like he's going inside, and he drags back and does like a kind of Ronaldo chop pass. I don't really know how to describe it. You know what I mean? When you drag it back and you pass it with the inside of your foot. And it was just really nice. Nothing came of it, though. The story of this game for me was we dominated, we adapted, and we won. I think Arteta identified that Burnley had quite a good defensive shape in this game in that 4-4-2. And I think that's why we decided to cross as much as we did. They were giving us plenty of space in the deeper positions, which meant Zinchenko and Tomiyasu had time to cross. And whilst we didn't necessarily convert as I was hoping to, we won the corners, which would eventually win us the game with 2 goals coming from that. Next is converting these crosses. These wingers we have are excellent and clearly world-class potential, could be the best in the world at some point. We need someone who can finish off the crosses that keep coming in the box. And I think I spoke about the striker before, but now I'm starting to get on to Havertz a bit. I back this player a lot, and I spoke about it already. He's getting in the position, but he's just never hitting the target. And he needs to improve on this. Vieira makes more sense as an Arsenal type of player to me, but Havertz makes more sense in this whole crossing thing, that he obviously with his height. Do we get Ivan Toney in January? I don't really. I think he's a great player, but I wouldn't really advocate for that signing because considering how much I think it would be, and I think there's probably better options out there. I'll do a scouting video soon, and I'll probably do that over the international break so I can get some players that I think we should maybe sign in January. But converting these crosses is definitely something we need to work on. And also the cross execution is not always great. I think Saka had a couple over here as well as Martinelli. Some a bit too close, but you know we'll work on this in the training ground and we'll improve. Last comment on Havertz. I noticed when Zinchenko and I think Saliba scored, he didn't really seem to be there for the celebration. This might have just been the camera view, but everyone was going up to like the goal scorer, dapping them up and hugs and stuff. And Havertz I just saw him walking off glumly in front of the camera at some point. So maybe he's not fitting in with the team very well, which could be contributing to this, but if he just needs to pick it up, he needs to pull his socks up and start producing some stuff. I feel like I still believe in this player, but my trust is dwindling. That is all I have for you today. 3-1 international break. I'll speak to you about some transfers soon. Come on, you Gunners.